If you know how to fail, success will follow. A young entrepreneur was sitting on the street, holding his head in his hands. He had worked day and night for several years, but his company eventually went under. He thought to himself, where did I go wrong in the first place? Many people try to learn how to succeed, but Charlie Munger once said, learn how to fail first, then avoid it. People always study the habits of successful individuals, yet they rarely analyze what failures have in common. Simply avoiding the path to failure can win you half the battle. So then, how do people fail? First, they only chase immediate gains. Chasing short-term profit is the quickest road to failure. A young investor bought any company he could, hoping to make money fast. In the beginning, luck was on his side, but investments made without considering long-term growth potential eventually pushed him to the brink. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger always ask, will this company still survive in 10 years? The moment you sacrifice long-term value for short-term profit, success drifts away. Second, they make emotional decisions. Fear and greed are the two emotions that ruin people. When the market crashes, they sell out of fear. When it's in a bubble, they buy out of greed. In the end, emotional investors always lose. The same is true in business. If you make crucial decisions while angry or push for reckless expansion, in a moment of excitement, you face irreparable consequences. Successful people move based on principles, not emotions. Third thing, they associate with bad people. Charlie Munger said, the easiest way to ruin your life is to get involved with bad people. People are influenced by their environment. If you work with dishonest individuals, you'll eventually make unethical decisions yourself. The moment you abandon trust for a small profit, that business is effectively over. Simply avoiding bad relationships can improve your life significantly. Charlie Munger kept learning something new every day, even past age 90. Yet most people stop learning at some point. The world never stops changing. Those who stop learning get trapped in old ways and fall behind. If you don't master new technologies or keep up with the world's changes, your chances of success diminish. Don't mistake luck for skill. You can get lucky, but the moment you mistake that luck for your own ability, danger begins. If you make reckless decisions just because your first few investments paid off, you'll eventually collapse in one big blow. On the other hand, people who truly succeed acknowledge the existence of luck and remain humble at all times. If you avoid the path to failure, success will follow. It might look like you need some grand strategy to succeed, but in reality, the most effective method is simply to avoid failing. Charlie Munger always said, don't worry about how to succeed. First learn how not to fail. 99% fail because they do not understand the power of compounding. Charlie Munger said, whoever understands compounding rules the world. But 99% of people fail to properly make use of it. Why is that? People want to make money fast. A man buying a lottery ticket said, this one shot could turn my life around. But there's something he doesn't know. The odds of winning the lottery are almost non-existent. Meanwhile, even a small amount invested steadily grows into great wealth over time. Successful investors keep growing small amounts of money. The magic of compounding becomes more powerful as time goes on. But most people want immediate results, and they kick away that opportunity themselves. Compounding is a simple concept, yet many people ruin it on their own. For example, there are people who sell in fear, if their investment assets drop even a little. Compounding grows stronger over time, but impatience breaks that process. Warren Buffett said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. To maximize compounding, you must be patient." But most people are impatient. The rich make money work for them. However, most people spend their money as soon as they earn it. Suppose one person invests $500 every month for 10 years. If it's managed at a compound annual rate of 10%, then after 10 years, he will have roughly $100,000. But someone who spent the same money has nothing left after 10 years. The rich make their money work, while the poor focus on spending it. Over time, the difference grows dramatically. Compounding shines not in short-term success, but in long-term perspective. Yet people always want short-term gains. Many try to make a fortune in the stock market overnight. But those who truly become wealthy invest looking 10, 20 years ahead. Charlie Munger said, "We are not merely making money, but making time our ally." Successful people understand this principle. It's a simple concept, but to use it well, you need a system. You need a structure that invests automatically, and an environment that forces you to save. One day, a young man visited Charlie Munger and said, "I want to make a lot of money. What should I do?" Munger sighed and replied, "Saying you want to make a lot of money is wrong in itself. Money is not a goal, but just a result. Many people dream of becoming rich. They vaguely say, 'I want to make a lot of money.' But in reality, they have no proper strategy to earn it, nor do they understand what's important in the process." What Charlie Munger emphasized is simple focus on value, not money. Once you set money as your goal, you lose your way. Most people believe that having a lot of money will make them happy. However, many among those who actually earn large sums of money are unhappy. When you have more money, you tend to spend more, and that leads to greater desires, creating a vicious cycle of dissatisfaction. Having a lot of money does not guarantee a good life. Munger said, "If someone who creates no value wants money, it's like trying to find ocean water in a desert." Real wealthy people do not set money as their goal. They solve problems, provide valuable services to customers, and do work that helps the world. Money follows as a result. Yet most people fail to understand this principle. The rich create systems, not money. If you want to make money, don't chase money directly, build a system that generates it. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger succeeded not because they simply traded stocks, but because they built a long-term system that creates money. If you try to earn money directly, there's a limit. But if you build a system in which money multiplies on its own, your assets grow even while you sleep. This is the principle of compounding, and it's how the wealthy think. If you make money the goal, people fall easily into greed. Wanting bigger returns, they take excessive risks, investing or speculating recklessly. Eventually, most of them incur huge losses. Charlie Munger emphasized one of the most important principles in investing: avoid stupid mistakes. Greedy investors always look for opportunities to make easy money, but they ultimately get forced out of the market. Meanwhile, successful people make valuable choices with a long-term perspective. If you want to become rich, learn probabilistic thinking. A young investor visited Charlie Munger and asked, "How do successful investors make decisions?" Munger smiled and answered, "They follow probabilities. Most people rely on intuition and emotion to make decisions. But successful people are different. They base their judgments on logic, not emotion, and they apply thoroughly probabilistic thinking. What is probabilistic thinking? It is a mindset that acknowledges that nothing in this world is 100% certain and makes decisions by weighing possibilities. We quantify the likelihood of events, then choose the best option based on those probabilities. For example, if someone says, "This stock will definitely go up," that person is not engaging in probabilistic thinking. By contrast, a probabilistic thinker says, "Recent earnings have improved, and the industry outlook is good, but there's about a 40% chance of a correction due to market volatility. Factoring in the risk, it's better to buy in increments." Analyzing like that is applying probabilistic thinking. Why is probabilistic thinking important? People are instinctively prone to emotional decisions. When the market crashes, they panic and sell their stocks. When they see someone making easy money, they copy them without a second thought. But such intuitive choices are highly likely to lead to failure. For instance, the reason people lose money in casinos is simple. The games are designed so that the probabilities are always in favor of the casino. Even so, people place their bets based on "I've got a good feeling this time," and eventually lose everything. It's the same with investing. If you get swept up in emotion, the odds of loss are high. How do successful people calculate probabilities? Successful investors calculate the potential loss first. When they evaluate an opportunity, they compare the probability of profit with the probability of loss. If the risk is too high, they don't invest. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett turned down countless investment opportunities over several decades. The reason is simple. Probabilistically, those investments were against their interests. They believed it was more important to make consistently favorable decisions over time than to seek one big win. Munger said, "The key to success is avoiding unnecessary risk. It's not about taking on risk, but calculating it." To master probabilistic thinking, you must first avoid emotional decisions. Most people decide based on instinct and emotion, but successful people base their decisions on data. Consider every possible scenario. Don't expect only one outcome. Weigh multiple possibilities and their respective probabilities. Don't be swayed by short-term fluctuations. Keep making choices that favor the odds. Separate yourself from fear and greed, and judge based on logic and data. Charlie Munger said, "Success is not about one big jackpot, but about steadily accumulating small probabilistic advantages." How to surpass a genius in one field. A journalist asked Charlie Munger, "How have you managed to make such brilliant decisions throughout your life?" Munger answered, "Because I learned from multiple fields." Most people concentrate on just one area. But Munger emphasized that you cannot achieve great results when you're confined to a single domain. He combined knowledge from economics, psychology, mathematics, biology, law, and more to solve problems. He called this approach the latticework of mental models. Why is multidisciplinary learning important? The world is intricately connected. You can't properly understand it from a single perspective. Someone who remains trapped in one field has limited vision and ultimately misses important opportunities. On the other hand, someone who integrates multiple domains can make more creative and accurate decisions. Charlie Munger said, "If the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem will look like a nail." In other words, you must learn from a variety of disciplines to accurately diagnose and solve problems. Study psychology first. People believe they act rationally, but in reality, they are controlled by emotions and biases.